Hi there, welcome back to your math workshop for today. So yesterday we looked at fractions on a number line. We're going to check something out here. So I want to take a look at fractions that are equal to 1. So when we labeled our number line with halves, once we got to the number 1 mark, we noticed that we have 2 halves. So we marked 2 halves to be the same as 1. So is 2 halves equal to 1? And how do you know? Can you explain this by using the story that we talked about with the ant traveling half a block at a time? Or maybe even with our story of using brownies and splitting them into halves? All right, so let's think about first our ant that travels. So the ant travels half a block of a distance at a time. And then he travels the other half a block. So he travels one half to start and then the other half. And when he does that, that's 2 halves altogether. But that's also the whole block. So he's traveled 2 halves, but it's also 1 whole block. So 2 halves is equal to 1 whole. Okay, so let's then imagine we could say with our brownies. So say we have 1 brownie and we split it up into 2 equal halves. I eat 1 half, then I eat another half. I've eaten 1 whole brownie, right? So 2 halves is equal to 1 whole. Okay, are there other fractions on a number line then that we could say is equal to 1? Thinking back to our ants traveling, were there other fractions that we found? Say if the ant is traveling 1/4 of a block at a time, if he got all the way here, how many fourths has he traveled? Yeah, 4/4 is the same thing as a 1. What about when he travels by 1/8 of a block? He travels 1/8 of a block at a time and he gets all the way to 1. How many 1/8 of a block has he traveled? He's traveled 8/8. What about if that ant travels 1/6 of a block at a time and he gets all the way to 1? How many 1/6 of a block has he traveled? Okay, so he's traveled 6/6 is the same thing as 1. And say he travels 1/3 of a block at a time. How many thirds does it take till he gets to 1? Yeah, so 3/3 is the same thing as 1. So all of these fractions are equivalent to 1. So what do you notice about these fractions that are equivalent to 1? What do you see? So you notice, right, that the numerator, the number on top, and the denominator, the number down below the line, are the same for each one of these fractions. So why is 4/4 equal to 1? Why is 8/8 equal to 1? So let's think about our brownie. So if we have a brownie, and we break it up into 4 parts, we have 4/4, right? It's fourths. Then you cut the whole up into 4 pieces. So if you put all 4 of them, say you cut them all apart, and then you put all 4 of them back together, 4 parts is equal to 1 whole, right? All right. So we could then say that if you have the same number on the top and the bottom, right? The same number in the numerator and the denominator, it's always going to equal 1. Is that the same thing then if I have 22 over 22? 22 22nds? Is that also equal to 1? Yeah, what about if I say 1,000 1,000ths? Is that equal to 1? Yes, absolutely. So as you're working today, you're going to be working with fractions that are equal to 1. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Good luck, have fun, and I'll see you next time.